Reid, Malcolm Jenkins. Man, Eric Reid was coming for everybody on Sunday. He was coming for bodies.
He gave Zach Ertz the fucking Olympic slam.
Yeah.
By the way, Zach Ertz, if you're gonna try to fight somebody, you shouldn't run at them like that, like a dumbass. Cause
that's someone who's never been in a fight.
Yeah, like that dude's from Southeast Louisiana. You don't want to fuck with him. You're a white boy who went to Stanford, and it showed. It clearly showed.
Yeah, pretty much. Eric Reid made a tackle, and I think he got a penalty.
He pushed Carson Wentz down after he threw it.
Yeah, he got a penalty.
He didn't even need to touch him. Threw his ass to the ground. Carson Wentz looked at him like, "Come on, bro."
And then Zach Ertz ran at him trying to do something.
Fucking meathead.
And Eric Reid just flipped him over and was like, "What's up?"
His superhuman fashion on some Killmonger shit.
He wasn't even in Super Saiyan yet. He was only in the rage mode. He was only in the red before.
Some Vegeta shit.
Yeah.
Some Vegeta shit when he said, "You know what? I'm gonna turn on all you guys."
But before that, before the game, at the coin toss, immediately, I guess
him and Malcolm Jenkins got into it.
He's pretty much just calling out Malcolm Jenkins and really the whole team, the whole team as being Neal Capitalist, who pretty much sold the movement that him and Kaepernick started off for $90 million,
$89 million
to be distributed amongst charities of their choice, mainly their charities.
And if you read the story on The Undefeated, which is amazing, they detail that. Like, yeah, Dr. Harry Edwards, who, by the way, Kaepernick said doesn't speak for him in some regards. Like, they were consulting Harry Edwards, and Harry Edwards had talked to Kaepernick. So that was also an interesting factor to that. But when it comes down to it, it was a situation where, by the way, fuck Josh Norman. We're going to get to that, too. Jenkins and them became the point person to talk to the NFL and negotiate. And Eric Reid is like, you know what our demands are. You know what we want. Like, there's no, let's take this hush money. Kaepernick, if there's going to be any coalition for the NFL, Kaepernick should be leading it. And again, y'all should read the story in The Undefeated, how it fell apart. But pretty much, he called him Neocapitalist. Pretty much like how, let's say a guy like Jesse Jackson, Al Harper, Al Sharpton, they've been accused, and in a lot of regards, rightfully so, of making money off a lot of movements that they were a part of that other people died for or got thrown in jail for or whatever.
All right. Can you back up?
So, yeah.
Because we're playing Take or Tangent. You're over here giving your opinion.
No, but
so
that's confused. How deep this Malcolm Jenkins versus Eric
All right, but that's
goes.
Why you're supposed to wait until I say, do you have a take or a tangent?
That's not my take. That's just the backstory. Like,
yeah.
You got to go read that story on your own, and then you can come to your own conclusions. But that's a lot of shit.
Yeah, so pretty much it was a loaded issue that all pretty much bottled up. Exploded on Sunday. So, furthermore, I'm setting you up now. Do you have a take or a tangent on this whole Eric Reid and Malcolm Jenkins beef?
Bruh.
This is real beef. This ain't Drake and Pusha T beef. This is actually some beef about some money shit.
This is about
some
morals.
Money, morals, and well-beings and families being fed.
This is like if MLK and Malcolm X low-key squared up and we didn't know about it.
They might have.
That's not funny. You should fucking laugh, Pete.
You don't know.
That's why I said it, because I probably knew that probably happened. But as someone who was a part
Secret societies are just gangs.
Well, if we're being honest, most of all the African American civil rights leaders actually were all in the Boule or in Greek societies, secret societies.
That's what I mean, yeah.
So I was like, damn. Rosa Parks, she was in a sorority. MLK was in a fraternity. Yeah, all types of crazy shit. Whatever. Might have a conspiracy show next. It's
not a conspiracy. It's
no, it's actually
them
being mostly Greek is actually true.
Yeah, most people in the top 10 percentile are Greeks.
Yeah, so Skull and Bones. There you go. But go read the book The Skeleton Key, and I think there's a movie. Shit, fuck with me. As a kid, they had us reading those books. Damn. But anyway, as someone who's taken part of the coalition and helped build it up, and then saw it get destroyed at CSUN. Stuff like this is kind of inevitable, where you have someone who's not going to jeopardize their morals at all, and then other people who just want to capitulate by getting some money on the side. They want a solution with the people who they have a problem with. You want to negotiate with the bully who's whooping your ass, essentially, or the person who has control over you, to have some kind of faux control. Like Harry Edwards said pretty much in the story, like, okay, we came to this agreement about the 5 years, $89 million, but 2 years, the players don't have to pay into it, but there's no way of enforcing it. It's just there. We just agree on some shit. Like, imagine me and you agree on some shit 2 years from now. Or, like, for 2 years, but we don't set a date when it goes into effect. And we have no way, there's no third party or anybody who can come in and orchestrate when it's going to actually go into effect. And that was the issue. And then you have people like bitch-ass Josh Norman, who apparently is just a bitch on the field because he gets lit up all the time. And, like, he texted his address to Eric Reid and offered to buy him a plane ticket. I would have took him up on that offer and beat his ass in his front lawn in front of his family. Fuck Josh Norman, seriously. If he sees me in the street, I want the smoke. Because honestly, that dude's he's a shit talker every week. Like Michael Thomas from the Saints exposed him in that Monday Night Saints game. They beat the shit out of the Redskins. And all you saw was like him crying on the sideline.
He's also like the best receiver in the game right now.
One of the best.
Yeah.
But in high school in California and somehow didn't get a fucking USC offer. I don't know how that happened.
When his uncle's one of your greatest alumni.
I don't know how that happened.
That was a miss. But what makes it even worse is he didn't go to UCLA either.
There's no good receiver comes out of UCLA. Tight ends, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Unc was like, nah, you can't go to UCLA.
You ain't going to go to Stanford because they'll just make you a tight end.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the whole Eric Reid, Malcolm Jenkins situation, I see it. There are people who are just politicians for the cause in blackface. And there are other people who they'll get notoriety because they think it'll make them look good.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Let me finish. I get both sides.
But is that really both sides? Like, is that really what we're seeing with Malcolm Jenkins? Is that how you see Malcolm Jenkins?
Okay, how I see Malcolm Jenkins is he was just the comfortable. In other words, he's the comfortable Negro in a sense. I hate that, but honestly, yeah, like once they signed that shit, he stopped.
But is that really fair for you? Is that really fair for you to say?
As someone who's seen, I know those types of personalities, and I've seen that. That's the role he kind of played.
You weren't saying that when the deal got done.
No,
you were happy the deal got done
in principle, but I said
was you celebrated
I was like,
it.
How are they going to actually execute it?
Yeah,
and
you
since
did
then,
say
there's
that.
been no answer. There's been nothing. So it's like, all right, bro, you just wanted to be the face of something to help negotiate it. No. Eric Reid and Kaepernick were in the right, and history will show that.
So,
but
not to take away from your point,
I understand Eric Reid's rage and anger behind it because they said pretty much fuck Kaepernick.
What you do? Nah. You understand rage?
I understand rage.
No.
We understand rage. What? Righteous indignation.
What?
Me? Of all people?
No way.
Nah.
All right, go ahead.
But honestly, yeah, man. Because at one point I've been on both sides. That's why it's like a shitty. It's like a tie. It's a nasty ass tie.
I think this is the same thing you see in this kind of a tangent, but
any scenario.
This is what you see in every single, because there's the engineer, right? There's the person that builds the software, and there's the Bill Gates. The Steve Ballmers. You got your Bill Gates, the engineers. You got your Steve Ballmers, the salesperson.
Take Facebook. In the social network, the dudes got fucked over out the deal.
Exactly.
We're mad about it.
Exactly.
Take Napster versus LimeWire. Napster got fucked over. LimeWire
still got fucked over.
Gave everybody's phones and computers AIDS.
Yeah. That last one wasn't a good example.
But no, that's what it kind of.
That's what it is. Is there's
players are split, they're fractured.
There's support people and there's people, and the people get the notoriety. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. But the question I wanted to raise to you, and the tangent I initially wanted to go on before you brought this up, was: Is this just another example of black on black crime? Like, is this a good thing? for kids to see and stuff like that?
Because it's not really black on black crime, but it's more of.
I know it's not crime because it's a context of a football game, and obviously no one got hurt and it wasn't that serious. So I'm not trying to make that point. But what I am trying to say is, like, is it a bad imagery to see these two people who are both black role models beefing and having an issue with each other?
Okay, I thought we weren't on the air, but Ryan, I think it might be your phone because it's. I can hear us on the air. All right, so.
Yeah, thanks for having side conversations on the air.
No, man, like she's engaging with the show. Like if I really, when she said like, "Yo, I don't hear anything," I was like, "Oh, I
know,
shit.
I'm just kidding, but still,
don't scare me like that." Damn, I have needs and issues.
Okay, what did I just say?
You said, is this pretty much? Is it a form of black on black violence? No, but it more speaks to. See, I'm gonna handle this on.
I'm not even saying. I'm not even saying if it's a crime. I'm saying, is it bad imagery? Is it bad representation? Is it?
Sadly, it's
because they're both black role models. They're both people.
It's the black condition, because we're in a system that we didn't create, and we've just convinced ourselves to capitulate and kind of go along with it and try to fit in. When like, yo, sometimes you can't fit in with shit. And my issue. And I kind of touched on this when I was on the Get Right last week. Black people really just don't support one another. It comes down to we air out our fucking grievances with each other instead of handling that shit in the back. And that's why I say I'm only worried about black people as a group because we're the ones who don't have our shit together. Latinos have their shit together for the most part. Asians definitely have their shit together. White people, come on. Kavanaugh. White people talked all that shit. White women talked all that shit. And the white dude who's a rapist and whatever still got in. And Bill Cosby's rotting in jail. But in fucking what's-his-face, Weinstein's getting charges knocked off every day. But I don't hear none of you black feminists out there talking shit. Or any of you feminists, really, out there yelling that shit. So, congratulations for undermining the Me Too movement. But anyway.
You know what's funny? It's like you don't have to make your point by, like, defending Bill Cosby.
No, I wasn't defending him at all.
I don't even
He's
think
going
you
in jail.
I don't even think you needed to bring up Bill Cosby to make your point.
Because I'm getting to that. When you think about Eric Reid versus Jenkins, right? Josh Norman was in there talking shit, and what's his face wasn't the only one. Damn it, Russell Okung. There was like 5 other guys. Kenny Stills. There were other guys in there who were supporting and on Reid's side. And Kaepernick was the one just off jettisoned. Now, when the fact that he's being blackballed and Reid is saying, why are you trying to negotiate with people for money that we don't even know where it's going, how it's going to actually be given out, instead of the main point is a black man is being blackballed for standing up for black people who are being murdered by the police and all types of racist shit. And instead of you jumping on our side and making our cause stronger, whatever your individual beliefs are, you create a whole nother fucking coalition to get money and break bread with people who are oppressing you. And that, ever since, you can go back to slavery, ever since white people came to Africa and fucked a bunch of shit up in the Arabs and the slave trade, that's a common, unfortunate theme in the black community, is that we're gonna sell each other out, or we're gonna have these useless fucking discussions about one thing when there's another thing still over here killing all of us. And it's really frustrating. That's why you have to just find like-minded people. But when it comes to that, like, it wasn't really handled properly. That whole situation. And but that's just a small part of it. The bigger issue is, as human beings, you and I both know, unions are the biggest example of how people get fucked over and how, like, a righteous cause or something that starts out halfway decent becomes something shitty. Plenty of people in unions have said, you know what, we're just going to sell out the workers and cut a deal because we're tired of this shit. and then the workers